I? And what do I bring to the table? She's put so much work into this degree and she's not able to get a job. Can you imagine how that feels, waking up every morning to go to become an apprentice? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ella here. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ella, and on this channel I film about everything that amplifies the voices of women, because I believe that we're special, and we have the power in us, and a lot of us are not working in our power. So I bring you content from business tips to finance, to tips that you can navigate your personal finance, to a little bit of fitness, and sometimes I blog about my life so you can see how I travel. I love to travel, so whenever I travel I take you guys along so you can see the beautiful places that I go to. So if you're new here, welcome. Today is a topic that I really wanted to come on here to talk about, because I worry about and this is basically a personal experience as well, but I saw it on the news on NBC, by the way. It's an American broadcast channel. If you want to check it out, I might put the link to the video in the description, just so you can watch the video and be more educated. And this video was all about the girl child, and how this one girl was feeling. She went to university, and I know the reason why I'm saying this because a lot of minority, a lot of colored girls, a lot of brown girls, a lot of brown families, especially from African descent, our parents are always like, you gotta go to school, you gotta have the education, you have to go to school, and all of that. And all of that is, I say that because I'm going to tell you my story in a minute. But when I listened to this girl's story, I could really relate to her story, and I could understand why the women are paid less than our male counterparts in the workforce. Because we always start out we start out lower than our male counterpart, and that is in itself, it's a problem. And this young lady had finished university post pandemic, and 2 years down the line, she hasn't gotten a job in what she studied. She's rather doing a job that she doesn't really need her degree to do the job. And she was like, what's it called, the documentary was saying that she felt stuck in like living with her mom, not being able to use her degree, and feeling that like, why did she really go to school, and what did she really waste her time studying the degree for? And it just really resonated with me, because where I come from, a lot of our parents, they're big on having your education first before you navigate into anything. So before you, for example, get an apprentice job, or before you learn something in the workforce, our parents are always about, you got to get the education, because your education gets you this, and the education gets you that. Whilst that is true, I struggled with this myself, because things have really changed in the workforce, and a lot of times why women have that the gap that we have, or the discrimination that we feel, or the stigmatization that we often experience when we take a break to become wives, moms, or just relocate to somewhere, and how it's so difficult to transition back into the workforce, or transition back into corporate or any business environment, is because of the way that we are perceived as women. It's in how the girl child is, how we're perceived as being females, and how sometimes going to college and having the degree, it can give you the foundation, but it would not necessarily like pivot you into the workforce, or necessarily take you into the job that you want to do, or the career that you want to get into, because the pool is big, and the competition is out there. And a lot of times we go to school and we come out and we're like, we're being told, we're being sold this thing that you're going to go to school, get the degree, and when you come out, you're going to burst into a job and you're going to, for example, if you studied marketing, you're going to become a marketing manager. It's all like the fairy tale that once you, just get your certificate and that's it, you're being catapulted into a marketing career, for example. Nobody talks about the steps that you actually need to take to get your foot into the workforce, to say that whilst you're doing the degree, you actually have to get an apprenticeship. You actually have to get into the workforce and learn something whilst you're doing the degree, so that when you come out, you would have experience. Because in today's world, experience counts more than education. I know that we're so big on having education, and I am an advocate for having an education. But an education doesn't substitute for experience. And I learned that the hard way myself. Because when I went to university, I remember coming out of university and just feeling like I was going to get a job in the investment bank because I studied economics and finance. I expected to just waltz right into Wall Street and waltz right into corporate Britain. But it wasn't like that. I struggled a lot. And the reason why I struggled a lot was not because of my grades, was because the mindset I had grown up with was get a college education, get a university education, and then you're going to get a job. Nobody talked about get a college education, get experience whilst you're getting the college education, so that you can match the two, your education and your experience. A lot of our graduates today are sitting down at home, especially female graduates. We're sitting down at home not having what to do because we've been painted this false picture, and our parents didn't really tell us that you need to get into the workforce. It's not about knowing somebody, it's about presenting yourself in the value that you bring. And a fresh graduate most of the time is seen as not having the experience to bring value to that job, or the competitive pull from those who have actually started to gain little experience. It doesn't matter if it's 2 months, 3 months, a year, whilst they were studying. Those are the people that companies are like, okay, they can bring those transferable skills together with their degree and bring something to the table. And a lot of times, because women are not really seen as people who should even be in the workforce, so we are started low anyway. We already have that disadvantage. So my purpose for doing this video is to encourage you out there. If you're a parent, please don't. I know how much we say that education is like, we want our kids to go into education. We just want them to go, 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 go. Please, please, please make sure that you're teaching your child also how to get work experience. Whether they are doing something, a side hustle, for example, they can be at university and still do something on the side that they love. For example, they could, if they know how to braid hair, they can offer that services to their peers so that they know how to hustle. They know how to run a business. Please make sure that they are volunteering in the corporate world, whether it's a medium-sized firm, a small-sized firm. Just make sure that you're encouraging your child and you're teaching your child, especially this generation, to get work experience, because your education and your paper degree would only take you so far. But if you have experience, if you're doing an internship, for example, if you're doing a 3-year degree course, I don't know how it is back home in Africa, but if you're in the West, there are many courses that during the summertime you can be an intern. You can be a summer intern. I didn't know this when I was going to school. So I came out from degree first. I'll tell you a story. I came out from I remember when I first did my very first graduating, a lot of my friends and my peers got placement. And basically placement is where you take a year and you go into the workforce and you work for a year and see whether the company either sees if they like what you're producing, or you see if the company is fit for you, or that industry or that department is what you really want to do after university. I must one that not everybody gets into a placement because it's very competitive. I didn't. And the reason why I didn't get into a placement wasn't because I didn't look for the placement. It was actually because I didn't have the information and the education to look for it quicker than I started. So I didn't manage to get one. And so after my degree, I found it very difficult to find a job. And I had to start from the bottom. I mean, the real bottom. I start from filing paperwork, putting papers in files for an investment management firm for me to work my way up to becoming an analyst, a graduate analyst. And this is the story of like me starting from the bottom. I mean, you're being employed to file the paper that they, the paper that the associate and everyone from their portfolios. That's what I was doing. And I remember putting these papers into the shelves. And I don't know, for some reason, I just thought, why don't I read it? We're always nosy. And I read it and I thought, I can do this. Why am I filing paper in an investment management firm when I could actually be an analyst? So I started to show up and so every time I go and file the paper, I would sit on the floor and I would read and learn the terms, the glossary of my firm. I will read it in such a way that I could speak the language. I already had an economics and finance degree anyway, so I could understand the principle. And I remember going to my manager and saying to her, I want to be an analyst. I can do the job. And she looked at me like, who is this brown girl filing paper wants to become an analyst? And I said to her, yes, I do have a degree in economics and finance. And this is XYZ case. And this is, I did this and this and this to the case. And she was like, God smacked. I kid you not. I was hired the next day as an analyst. So I went from filing paper to becoming an analyst. And I share this story because my parents don't even know. My parents never knew about the story because all they were bothered about was do a degree, do a master's. We sent you abroad, so you've got to do all of this and you do it anyway. So that's the story for another time. But the reason why I'm saying this, because when I heard that girl's story, I could resonate with the pain, because this is where women start to lose their confidence. This is where women struggle with their identity. Who am I? And what do I bring to the table? She's put so much work into this degree and she's not able to get a job. Can you imagine how that feels, waking up every morning to go to become an apprentice at a car dealership when you know that you're worth more than that, but that environment doesn't give you room to say what you're worth. You can't even, there's no room for advancement there. So it would take like inner struggle for her to move out of that place and go to where she's going to flourish. Who is going to hear her out? So this video was just to say, please, 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 parents, encourage your children, especially your female children. Encourage them to have work experience, whether it's an internship, whether it's doing a side hustle on the side, whatever it is that gets them into the workforce quicker than when they have their degree. This will pay them so much. Take my own story, for example. I didn't get a placement. I was so discouraged. I remember that's when I met my husband. We were dating then. And I was so miserable. I was the most miserable girlfriend because I just thought that I had failed myself. I didn't know how I was going to get it to work. And I remember when I got the job to go and do this filing for this investment bank, I had two things on my mind. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to come out as an investment analyst. I am not going to file papers for the duration of 6 months that I was contracted to be in the place. And I worked my ass off. I reinvented myself. I looked at things that they were doing and I knew that I could do it. So I fought for my place. I fought for my place as a black female who was filing paper into becoming an investment analyst. And if I can do it, you can do it. Sometimes opportunities don't come the way we want it to come, but it sure does have something on the inside. And what I'm sitting here today to say to you is, please train your girl child to do something, an internship, a placement, whatever it is, so that they can amplify their voice once they get out, so that they can start at least on a higher pedestal than we're put in as women. I hope this video has been helpful. to somebody out there. I know that this is not the normal video I talk about side hustle, but I think that this is the foundation, really. If we start off like this and start off knowing our worth and start off knowing what we're meant to do so that we don't lose the confidence that we should after we get the degree, then it's a win for us. My baby's crying, so I gotta go. But I love you guys for watching this video. Please like. If this video is helpful to you, please give a thumbs up to this video. Like and share and subscribe. And the more you share this video, the more you give other people the opportunity to have the amazing content that you are listening to right now. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you to all our newbies. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to the Ella family. Don't forget to like this video on your way out. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Have a lovely day. It's sunny out here, so I brought you guys the sunshine. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.